So written down, I have a question, and we're going to be graphing this using a histogram and a box plot. The question states, Miss Smith gave her class a math test last Friday. The grades of the test were 72, 100, a 91, a 91, a 65, a 77, an 82, an 87, an 83, a 96, an 81, a 73, and a 61. It says represent this data using two different graphs. So like I said, we're going to use a box plot and a histogram. What would be an average of the test scores for the entire class? So we're going to be looking at the average for the entire class. That's what we're going to be solving. So after we just read the problem, the first thing that we're going to do is list the numbers right here from least to greatest. So we're going to start out, and the list is going to go 61, 65, 72, 73, 77, 81, 82, 83, 91, 91, 96, and 100. So this is the list of the grades that we have so far. So in order to do this from least to greatest, it's easier to see what the median is, and it'll be easier to solve. So if we start out, we're going to find the middle number. So we're going to cross out 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. This is just going out and working our way in to find the center. So we could go 2 more. 1, 2, 1, 2. And right here, we see that 81 and 82 are in the middle. And so the median right here is going to be 81.5. The next thing we're going to do is look for the quartiles. So if we look here, this becomes a pair, the 61 and the 73. The 65 and the 73 become pairs. So 72 right here is going to become the Q1. And now we're going to do the same thing. So this 100 and this 83 right here are going to become pairs. These two are going to become pairs, which means 91 is going to be Q3. So right here we have Q1, the median, and Q3. So the Q1 is 72, the median is 81.5, and the Q3 is 91. Alright, so on this whiteboard, I've listed out again our numbers from least to greatest. And I have a number line here because we're about to start making the box plot. So the first thing we're going to do is look at the lowest number and the highest number, and those are going to be our first 2 points we're going to make. So 61 and 100 on our line. And so we know that those are the least and greatest. Now the next thing I've done is I already rewrote this. So 72 is going to be our Q1. Our median is going to be 81.5. And then Q3 is going to be 91. So the next thing that we can do is we can make a dash in the middle that we know is going to be 81 right here. And we could say 82 will be right here. So then we know right in the middle this is going to be the 81.5. And this is going to be the line for the median right here. The next thing we could do is we can make a line for 72, which is our Q1. And then we can make a line for 91, which is our Q3. So the next thing we could do is make dash marks above these that are similar to the one in the middle. Sorry, there we go. Similar to those in the middle. And then we're going to connect it to where it makes a box. Now the last thing that we need to do is make dashes or little dots next to the lowest and highest numbers. So we're going to make one right here at 61. And then we're going to make one right here at 100. And so now our box plot is complete. So now we have our least right here. We're going to have our Q1 right here. Our median right here. And our Q3 right here. And then the greatest number will be right here. So that's our box plot. So we could see right here that 81.5 will be the middle number. The next thing we're going to do is make a histogram. So in order to do that, we're going to make this data into a table so it's easy to see what we're going to do when we put it onto the graph. So right now I've already made columns of sections, so it's 60 to 70, 70 to 80, 80 to 90, or 90 to 100. And so as you can see, the numbers are still in order from least to greatest, which makes it easy to see. So for each number that's in this category, I'm just going to make a tally mark. So 61, tally. 65, tally. 72, tally. 73, 77, 81, 82, 83, 91, 91, 96, and 100. So now what we can do is tally these up. So we know this is 2, 3, 3, and 4. So these are the numbers that I'm going to now transfer onto this histogram. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to keep this right in front of me, and then I'm going to have this as well. So right here we see the 60 to 70, and we know that 2 students got a score in that range. So we can draw this to be at 2 students. So this is going to be 60 to 70. Got two students that got that grade. The next one we're going to look at is 70 to 80, and 3 students got that. So that's a little bit more. So that's going up to the 3, because 3 is the number of students that got in that range. Now, the next one is 80 to 90. So 80 to 90, there were 3, so that's just going to continue on. All the way across, this is the same. So we could just continue to color that in. The last one is 90 to 100, and we see that 4 students got in that range. So we're going to find the mark for the 4. And this is going to be the last thing we need to do. And this is 90 to 100. So now we've made this graph, and by looking at it, we can see that the average number of people were right in here in this section, around 80 to 90. And so the last thing we're going to do is add up all of these to check what our average actually is so we can answer that question. Okay, one last way we can see what the average is by adding all of our numbers. So these are all of the results from the test scores up together, and that's going to equal 972. And the last thing we are going to do to get the average is to divide this number, because this is the total of adding 61 all the way up to 100, all of these numbers, adding them up, and then we're going to divide them by 12, because that's how many numbers are in our data. And so the answer is going to be 81. So the average number of test scores that the class took in their math test last Friday is 81.